A couple highlights from the chat room today. One of our All-Stars, B-Turk, called DirecTV. Now you saw the gap up today, big volume gap up. I'm struggling to find words for how good this call was. He called DirecTV. These are 2-minute candles. He literally called it at 59.76. Okay, pretty much right here at the bottom of this right candle. He gave it 17 cents risk, stop 17 cents below, and as I scroll across, look at this. I just can't say enough. He literally nailed the bottom of the day by within 2 pennies. It doesn't get much better than that. I'll scroll out 5-minute candles now. From 59.76, 17 cents risk, went up 2.31 a share to 62.07 at its best, and really closed near its highs. Right at the bottom of that tail. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. And he's so good. I'm just so proud of him. That was just such a good call that I almost wasn't going to make an after-hours video, and I had to when I realized where he called that today. Unbelievable. My best call of the day was FIO. Been watching this one, and then it got this volume spike right here. I called it before this candle was complete at 17.65 with a stop below this candle at 17.54. This was overdue for a bounce anyway, and when I saw the volume, that's what caught my attention. 11 cents risk, and this one got up to, made about a 50-cent move from there. Now I did call a couple that didn't work, called MTW. I don't know where I got that from. WLT, called it on a high of day break today. The other calls, CLF and BTU, were strong, and I was pan out a little bit here. This earnings, this was after earnings. It gapped up to here and then sold off. But you know what? It's come back ever since. And that's because the daily chart's so beaten up that I thought, you know what? If it takes out the high of the day, probably going to take out yesterday's high, maybe make a run at this 1820 high that it had after earnings. So let me zoom in a little bit now. And there's the high of day break. I did scalp some right even with yesterday's high, and then I was back out flat on the rest, okay? So I might have made a sandwich off of it, and look what it did. I mean, it would have been a beautiful short, but the reason for the call was the reasons I just gave you, plus that was 4 candles in, so 20 minutes in. So if I show you 4 candles on CLF, CLF was very strong. BTU was just starting to break out, right? And then the entire coal industry reversed. I don't know if there was news or what, but anyway, so WLT didn't work so good. And then I also called Aruba Networks, ARUN. You had the big gap down. And if I pan out here a little bit, you can see that it had nice support at 18. So it gapped down. It was holding the 18 area in the early going. Let me show you again. Looked just like this when I called it. And as a matter of fact, my call was a high of day break, 1806, with a stop like 20 cents below. But when it looked like this, it was getting massive volume right at 18. So I went ahead and took it at 18 with a stop, worst case, 20 cents below. And the thinking was, a lot of times when you get a huge gap like that, if you do get a break at the high of the day, it'll go straight from 18 to about 18.15 or 18.20 with no trades in between. And you'll get either a lousy fill if you place a market order, or if you use a limit order, you just won't get filled. So what I did was just jumped in right at 18, and then I ended up killing it when it didn't go. I ended up killing it at 17.90. I really thought it was going to go, though. And if this would have broken the high of the day, a 50-cent move in the next couple minutes wouldn't have surprised me. So the risk-reward made sense, and it just grinded lower the rest of the day. So that was another failed idea by me. All right, so anyway, I'll leave it at that. I probably will put out a video tonight showing a few stocks that we're going to be watching tomorrow. I don't have my list together yet. I've still got to go look at some charts. So I'll quit babbling. We'll talk to you later.